Welcome to Nasrina Creatives. Today we are diving into a fascinating topic that combines imagination, innovation, and human progress, creativity in architecture and design. When we look at magnificent buildings, inspiring homes, beautiful parks, and modern cities, we often admire their appearance without realizing the creative journey behind them. Every remarkable structure we see today was once an idea in someone's mind. Creativity is what transforms empty spaces into places that inspire, comfort, and serve people. It is the bridge between imagination and reality, and it has the power to shape the world around us. Architecture and design are among the clearest examples of how creativity can influence everyday life. An architect does not simply create buildings, they create experiences. They think about how people will move through a space, how they will feel when they enter it, and how that structure can improve their lives. A designer sees possibilities where others see limitations. They look at a blank canvas, an empty piece of land, or an outdated building and imagine what it could become. This ability to envision something greater is what sets creative minds apart. One of the most important lessons we can learn from architecture is that every great achievement starts with an idea. Before a skyscraper reaches the clouds, before a bridge connects distant communities, and before a museum attracts visitors from around the world, someone first imagined it. The same principle applies to our personal lives. Every business, invention, career, and success story begins with a thought. Creativity teaches us not to underestimate our ideas. What seems small today could become something extraordinary tomorrow. Creativity in architecture is not only about beauty, it is also about solving problems. Every project presents unique challenges. An architect may have to design a building on difficult terrain, create more space within a small area, or develop environmentally friendly solutions. Through creative thinking, obstacles become opportunities. The most successful designers are often those who view problems not as barriers, but as puzzles waiting to be solved. This mindset is valuable in every area of life. Challenges will always exist, but creativity helps us find new paths forward. Throughout history, many revolutionary architectural designs faced criticism and doubt when they were first introduced. People often resist what they do not understand. Yet creative visionaries continue moving forward because they believe in their ideas. This teaches us a powerful lesson about courage. Creativity requires the confidence to think differently, even when others disagree. If everyone thinks the same way, innovation becomes impossible. The world changes because of people who dare to imagine new possibilities and pursue them despite opposition. Nature itself is one of the greatest sources of inspiration for architects and designers. The curves of a seashell, the strength of a tree trunk, the patterns of leaves, and the flow of rivers have inspired countless designs. Nature demonstrates efficiency, beauty, and balance. Creative people understand the value of observation. They pay attention to the details that others overlook. Inspiration is everywhere, but only those who remain curious and observant are able to discover it. Creativity grows when we learn to see the extraordinary in ordinary things. Another remarkable aspect of architecture is vision. If you stand on an empty piece of land, you may see nothing more than dirt and open space. An architect, however, sees potential. They can imagine the finished structure long before the first brick is laid. This ability to see beyond present circumstances is one of the greatest strengths a person can develop. Vision allows us to dream bigger than our current reality. It helps us focus on what is possible rather than what is visible. Every successful person possesses this ability to some degree. Creativity also teaches us patience. Some of the world's most iconic buildings took years to complete. They required careful planning, continuous adjustments, and relentless dedication. In today's fast-paced world, many people expect instant success. However, meaningful achievements rarely happen overnight. Great designs evolve through time, effort, and persistence. The same is true for our goals and dreams. Success is often the result of consistent progress rather than sudden breakthroughs. Patience allows creativity to mature and reach its full potential. There is a valuable lesson in how architects handle limitations. Sometimes they must work with small budgets, difficult locations, or strict regulations. Instead of allowing these limitations to stop them, they use them as opportunities to innovate. In fact, some of the most creative designs in history emerged because of constraints rather than despite them. Likewise, the challenges we face in life can become catalysts for growth and innovation. What appears to be a disadvantage may actually push us to discover our greatest strengths. Architecture and design also remind us of the power of the environment. The spaces we create influence how people think, feel, and behave. A well-designed classroom can encourage learning. A peaceful home can promote relaxation. A beautiful public space can inspire community and connection. Design is not simply about aesthetics, it is about creating positive experiences. In the same way, we are constantly designing our lives through our decisions, habits, and attitudes. The environment we create around ourselves influences the person we become. Failure is another important part of the creative process. Every architect has seen designs rejected, plans revised, and projects encounter setbacks. Yet these experiences are not signs of defeat. There are opportunities for learning and improvement. Creativity thrives when we embrace mistakes as part of growth. Many people abandon their dreams because they fear failure, but creative individuals understand that every setback contains valuable lessons. Progress often comes through trial, error, and persistence. Innovation has always played a central role in architecture and design. From ancient wonders to modern sustainable buildings, human creativity has continuously pushed the boundaries of what is possible. Every generation builds upon the achievements of those who came before it. Innovation begins with a simple question: what if there is a better way? This question has led to breakthroughs that transformed cities, improved lives, and shaped civilizations. By asking this question in our own lives, we open the door to new opportunities and solutions. Perhaps the most important message of all is that creativity is not limited to architects, designers, or artists. Every person possesses creative potential. Creativity is a skill that grows with practice. The more we explore ideas, solve problems, and challenge ourselves to think differently, the stronger our creativity becomes. You do not need a special title or profession to be creative. Creativity belongs to anyone willing to imagine possibilities and take action. Architecture teaches us one final lesson. Every great structure depends on a strong foundation. Without a solid foundation, even the most beautiful building cannot stand. Similarly, success in life requires a foundation built on discipline, learning, perseverance, integrity, and self-belief. Every positive habit you develop is like laying another brick in the foundation of your future. The progress may seem slow at times, but each step contributes to something greater. As we conclude today's lesson, remember that creativity in architecture and design is about much more than constructing buildings. It is about transforming ideas into reality, finding solutions to challenges, and creating something meaningful that improves lives. It is about courage, patience, vision, and innovation. Most importantly, it reminds us that every remarkable achievement begins in the imagination. Thank you for joining us today on Nasrina Creatives. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. Leave a comment below and tell us how creativity has helped you overcome challenges or pursue your dreams. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and never stop creating, because the future belongs to those who dare to imagine it. Hello and welcome back to Nasrina Creatives, the channel where ideas come alive, creativity flourishes, and personal growth becomes a journey worth embracing. We are truly delighted to have you with us today. Whether you are a student, entrepreneur, professional, or someone simply looking to improve your life, this lesson has something valuable for you. Today's topic is creative thinking for problem solving. It is a skill that can transform challenges into opportunities, obstacles into stepping stones, and setbacks into powerful lessons. The ability to think creatively is not reserved for artists, inventors, or geniuses. It is a skill that anyone can develop and use to navigate life's difficulties more effectively. Every day, people encounter problems. Some are small inconveniences, while others seem overwhelming and impossible to overcome. Yet the difference between those who remain stuck and those who find solutions often lies in the way they think. Many people see problems as barriers, but creative thinkers see them as puzzles waiting to be solved. They understand that every challenge presents an opportunity to learn, grow, and discover something new. Instead of becoming discouraged by difficulties, they become curious about the possibilities hidden within them. The truth is that problems are not the enemy of progress. In fact, problems are often the reason progress exists. Throughout history, every major invention, innovation, and breakthrough was born because someone encountered a problem and decided to solve it. The wheel was invented because people needed a better way to transport goods. The light bulb was created because people wanted a safer and more effective source of light. Modern technology exists because innovators continuously seek solutions to everyday challenges. Without problems, there would be no innovation, no growth, and no advancement. This means that every problem you face carries within it the potential for a new solution, a fresh idea, or even a life-changing opportunity. Imagine two young entrepreneurs who inherit an empty building. The first one walks inside, looks around, and immediately becomes disappointed. He sees bare walls, empty floors, and unused space. To him, the building represents a lack of resources and a lack of opportunity. The second entrepreneur enters the same building and feels excited. She sees endless possibilities. She imagines a thriving business, a creative workspace, a training center, or even a community hub. Both individuals are looking at exactly the same place, yet they see entirely different realities. The difference is not in the building itself. The difference is in their thinking. Creative thinkers train themselves to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. One reason many people struggle to solve problems is because they approach every challenge with the same mindset they have always used. They rely on old habits and familiar methods even when those methods are no longer effective. It is like trying to open a modern smartphone using an old-fashioned key. No matter how hard you try, the key will never work because the solution requires a completely different approach. Creative thinking involves stepping outside your normal patterns and asking yourself new questions. It requires you to challenge assumptions and consider possibilities that may initially seem unusual or unlikely. Curiosity plays a vital role in creative thinking. Children are naturally curious. They ask endless questions about the world around them. They want to know why things happen, how things work, and what might happen if something changed. As people grow older, many lose this sense of curiosity. They stop asking questions and begin accepting things exactly as they appear. Creative thinkers, however, never lose their curiosity. They understand that every discovery begins with a question. When faced with a challenge, they do not immediately assume they know the answer. Instead, they investigate, explore, and seek new perspectives. They understand that asking the right question can often be more valuable than finding a quick answer. There is a story about a fly trapped inside a room. The fly sees sunlight coming through a closed window and spends hours crashing into the glass, desperately trying to escape. It becomes exhausted because it remains focused on one approach that simply does not work. Meanwhile, a door nearby stands wide open. Freedom is only a few feet away, but the fly never notices it because it is obsessed with a single solution. Many people face similar situations in life. They become so focused on one method that they fail to recognize other possibilities. Creative thinking requires flexibility. Sometimes the answer is not to work harder but to think differently. One of the most powerful habits creative thinkers develop is the habit of asking what if? What if there were no limitations? What if I looked at this challenge from a completely different angle? What if the obstacle itself could become part of the solution? What if I had to solve this problem using only the resources already available to me? These questions encourage the mind to move beyond conventional thinking and explore new possibilities. Many of the world's greatest innovations began with someone asking a simple "what if" question that others never considered. A beautiful story illustrates this principle perfectly. An elderly farmer carried water each day using two pots attached to a wooden pole. One pot was perfect, while the other had a crack that caused water to leak along the path. The cracked pot felt ashamed because it believed it was failing its purpose. One day, it apologized to the farmer for its weakness. The farmer smiled and asked the pot to look carefully at the side of the path where it hung. Along that side grew colorful flowers, while the other side remained plain and dry. The farmer explained that he had planted seeds there years earlier because he knew the cracked pot would water them every day. What seemed like a flaw had actually created beauty. This story reminds us that creative thinking often involves discovering value in unexpected places and finding opportunities hidden within apparent weaknesses. Many people assume that creativity thrives only when resources are abundant. Surprisingly, the opposite is often true. Some of the most creative solutions emerge when resources are limited. Constraints force people to think differently. They encourage innovation and resourcefulness. Some of the world's most successful companies began in garages, small apartments, or tiny offices with very little money. Their founders succeeded not because they had everything they needed, but because they learned how to make the most of what they had. Creative thinkers do not waste time complaining about limitations. Instead, they focus their energy on finding ways to overcome them. Failure is another important ingredient in creative problem solving. Unfortunately, many people fear failure so much that they avoid taking risks altogether. Creative thinkers view failure differently. They understand that every unsuccessful attempt provides valuable information. Each mistake teaches a lesson and brings them closer to the right solution. The path to success is rarely straight. It is often filled with experiments, setbacks, and unexpected detours. However, those who continue learning from failure eventually develop stronger solutions and greater resilience. Failure is not proof that you cannot succeed. It is often evidence that you are actively searching for a better way. Another secret of creative thinking is the ability to connect ideas from different areas of life. Many breakthroughs occur when someone combines concepts that seem unrelated. A business leader may learn valuable lessons from sports. An entrepreneur may find inspiration in nature. A teacher may discover new methods by studying music or storytelling. Creative thinkers constantly collect ideas from a variety of sources because they understand that inspiration can come from anywhere. The more knowledge and experiences you gather, the more connections your mind can make, and the more solutions you can create. Developing a creative mind requires practice. Just like a muscle becomes stronger through exercise, creativity becomes stronger through use. Challenge yourself to solve everyday problems in different ways. try new approaches. Learn new skills, explore unfamiliar topics, ask questions that stretch your imagination, give yourself permission to experiment without worrying about perfection. The goal is not to have every answer immediately. The goal is to train your mind to see possibilities where others see obstacles. Life will always present challenges. There will always be unexpected setbacks, difficult decisions, and obstacles that test your determination. However, those challenges do not have to stop you. In many cases, they can become the very things that help you grow. Some of the most successful people in history achieved greatness not because they avoided problems, but because they learned how to think creatively when problems appeared. They transformed obstacles into opportunities and difficulties into stepping stones toward success. As we conclude today's lesson, remember that creative thinking is not about being the smartest person in the room. It is about being willing to see things differently. It is about remaining curious, open-minded, and willing to explore new possibilities. Every problem contains a solution waiting to be discovered. Every challenge carries an opportunity for growth. Every setback can become a lesson that prepares you for future success. The next time you face a problem, do not immediately focus on the obstacle. Instead, focus on the possibilities. Ask yourself better questions. Look for opportunities hidden within the challenge. Think beyond the obvious and remain open to new perspectives. You may be surprised by the solutions that emerge when you allow your creativity to guide you. Thank you for joining us today on Nasrina Creatives. We hope this lesson on creative thinking for problem solving has inspired you to approach challenges with a fresh perspective and greater confidence. If you found value in this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content that inspires growth, creativity, and success. Until next time, keep learning, keep creating, and keep believing in the power of your imagination. Remember, every great solution begins with a creative thought. See you in the next video. Why great achievements take time. Welcome to Nasrina Creatives. Hello and welcome back to Nasrina Creatives, the channel where we inspire creativity, encourage personal growth, and help you develop the mindset needed to achieve extraordinary success. If this is your first time visiting our channel, we are delighted to have you here. And if you are one of our loyal viewers, thank you for continuing to be part of this journey. Today, we are going to explore a powerful truth that has shaped the lives of some of the most successful people in history. Why great achievements take time. We live in a world that moves faster than ever before. Technology has made it possible to communicate instantly, access information within seconds, and receive products at our doorstep within days or even hours. Because of this fast-paced environment, many people have unconsciously developed the belief that success should happen quickly as well. We want immediate results, immediate recognition, and immediate rewards. When those things do not arrive as quickly as we expect, we often become frustrated and begin questioning whether our efforts are worthwhile. However, the truth is that the greatest achievements in life rarely happen overnight. They are built slowly, patiently, and consistently over time. Many people look at successful individuals and assume that they simply got lucky. They see the finished product but not the years of effort behind it. They see the successful business owner but not the countless sleepless nights spent building the company. They see the accomplished athlete but not the years of training, discipline, and sacrifice. They see the famous author but not the years spent writing, rewriting, and facing rejection. What appears to be sudden success is usually the result of a long and often difficult journey that most people never see. One of the biggest reasons great achievements take time is because meaningful success requires growth. Success is not simply about reaching a destination. It is about becoming the kind of person who can handle that destination when you arrive. Imagine giving a teenager the responsibilities of a large corporation without any experience or preparation. The chances of success would be very small because the individual has not yet developed the skills, knowledge, wisdom, and character needed to manage those responsibilities. In the same way, life often uses time to prepare us for the things we are asking for. Nature teaches us this lesson everywhere we look. Consider a giant tree standing proudly in a forest. That tree did not become strong in a single season. Before its branches stretched toward the sky, its roots spent years growing deep into the ground. During storms, those roots become the tree's greatest source of strength. If the tree had grown too quickly without developing a strong foundation, it would not survive powerful winds. The same principle applies to our dreams and ambitions. Before we can support great success, we must first develop strong roots through patience, learning, discipline, and perseverance. One of the most difficult parts of pursuing a goal is dealing with periods when progress seems invisible. You may be working hard every day, yet it feels as though nothing is changing. You may be studying, practicing, creating, or building something valuable, but the results are not immediately apparent. During these moments, it is easy to become discouraged. However, invisible progress is still progress. Just because growth cannot be seen does not mean growth is not happening. Much like a seed developing beneath the soil before breaking through the surface, your efforts may be producing results that have not yet become visible. There is a famous story about the Chinese bamboo tree that perfectly illustrates this idea. After planting the seed, a farmer waters and cares for it consistently. During the first year, nothing appears above the ground. The second year passes and still there is no visible growth. The third year comes and goes with the same result. Even after 4 years, there is little evidence that anything is happening. Most people would likely conclude that the seed has failed. Yet the farmer continues to water it faithfully. Then, during the 5th year, the bamboo suddenly grows rapidly, reaching impressive heights within a short period of time. The remarkable growth was possible because the tree had spent years developing an extensive root system underground. In many ways, our personal journeys are similar. The periods when we feel as though nothing is happening are often the periods when the most important growth is taking place beneath the surface. Another reason great achievements take time is because failure is an essential teacher. Most people try to avoid failure at all costs, but failure often provides lessons that success cannot. Every mistake teaches us something valuable. Every setback reveals weaknesses that need improvement. Every challenge strengthens our resilience and determination. The people who eventually achieve greatness are not those who never fail. They are those who refuse to allow failure to stop them. Instead of viewing setbacks as evidence that they should quit, they view them as opportunities to learn and improve. Patience is another quality that develops during the journey toward achievement. Many people think patience simply means waiting, but true patience means continuing to work while you wait. It means remaining committed to your goals even when results are delayed. It means believing in your vision during seasons of uncertainty. Patience allows individuals to continue moving forward when others become discouraged and quit. In many cases, the difference between success and failure is not talent or intelligence, but the willingness to stay committed long enough for results to appear. As you continue pursuing your dreams, remember that every small effort matters. A single workout may not transform your body, but thousands of workouts over time can. Reading one page may not make you an expert, but reading consistently for years can completely change your life. Saving a small amount of money each day may seem insignificant, but over time those savings can grow into something meaningful. Great achievements are often the result of small actions repeated consistently over long periods. The next time you feel discouraged because your progress seems slow, remind yourself that great achievements have always required time. The people you admire faced obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt just like you. What made the difference was their decision to continue. They trusted the process, remained committed to their goals, and refused to give up before their breakthrough arrived. As we come to the end of today's message, remember that your current struggles do not define your future. The challenges you face today are preparing you for the opportunities of tomorrow. Every lesson you learn, every obstacle you overcome, and every effort you make is helping to build the foundation for your future success. Trust the process. Trust the growth that is happening beneath the surface. Most importantly, trust yourself. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today on Nasrina Creatives. If this video inspired you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs encouragement,